everyone, and welcome to the newest edition of The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on all things IPW. I am the voice of IPW, J-Rod. At the first ever IPW Redemption event in 2021, Josh Raymond became one half of the IPW Tag Team Champions. 2 years later, he was looking to become the IPW Champion, but unfortunately, Jamal King sustained an injury in training, postponing their match until IPW Super Smash on September 16th. But at Redemption, Josh Raymond instead faced a very game old-timer Jeff King. King always brings a fight and had Josh Raymond in trouble a few times. But a well-timed roll-up helped Josh keep his #1 contender status. Josh Raymond will finally get a chance to claim the IPW title as he challenges Jamal King this weekend in what appears to be the biggest threat to Jamal King's crown yet. Raymond is riding some serious momentum, having not been pinned in over 2 years, while Jamal King is coming off an injury, let alone the wear and tear from months of gruesome high-level championship matches. Mild-mannered man came to the ring to conduct an interview with the thief, Big Jorge. Jorge was caught rummaging through LaDon Sanders' gear bag at Off the Chain and stole LaDon's necklaces. LaDon would blindside Big Jorge, interrupting the interview and starting their match. The match wouldn't last long, though, as the two fought their way to a double countout. The bell didn't stop them, and these two fought all the way to the back. Max Morrison was up next, accompanied by Thomas Bailey, the Forgotten's newest member. Morrison would welcome one of IPW's newest high-profile signees, Remington Roar. Roar was advertised as a powerhouse, and he was just that. Thomas Bailey eventually grew anxious that Morrison would let the team down and attacked Roar, causing a disqualification. Chad Alpha ran down to the ring to assist Roar, claiming that he respected Roar as a true athlete and offered to team with Roar to face the Forgotten in a tag team match. The Forgotten could not come together, and Max Morrison eventually sat back and watched Thomas Bailey get pinned. A successful debut for Remington Roar, who technically won 2 matches in one night. Morrison and Bailey began a shoving match after the bout, with Morrison handing out an open-handed smack to Thomas Bailey. Instead of retaliating, Bailey tucked tail and went to the back, undoubtedly to snitch to Jeremiah Nazareth. At the conclusion of the event, Max Morrison was addressed by an old friend.
Hey man, chill. You know, a lot has gone down between us here the last couple of years, and it seems like it always does, but we go back a long way, Max. I don't approve any of this stuff you're doing with Forgotten. I'm going to tell you something you already know. If you're in that group, you should believe it.
What is perhaps the most shocking string of events this year, Nasty Nathan Sharp is undefeated in IPW with one of the most impressive resumes in the company. He would face his stiffest test yet, former title challenger Schwartzy. Sharp finally got the chance to prove that he does actually have some skills to go with that bizarre personality and was giving Schwartzy a good fight. Just as Schwartzy was on his way to victory, they were interrupted by LaDon Sanders and Big Jorge, who fought their way through the curtain and back to ringside. Apparently, these two never stopped slugging it out after the match. This provided a diversion that allowed Nasty Nathan Sharp to hit Schwartzy in the head with his keyboard before pulling off the shocking upset victory. Chad Alpha, Hexus, LaDon Sanders, and Schwartzy have all been added to the resume of Nasty Nathan Sharp, as he has found a way to beat them all. This has got to propel him close to title contention. We will see where things go. Anderson Knight was led to the ring by Jeremiah Goldmain. Goldmain dug into referee Gary, boasting about how he got Gary suspended for knocking his block off at Off the Chain. Unfortunately, Gary was not at Redemption to defend himself. Goldmain then turned his attention to Anderson Knight, who he believes has been doing a bit of sandbagging. Goldmain believes Knight is one of the Gold Team's top assets, and that Knight should face the type of opponent that would shoot him toward title contention. That opponent was hardcore standout Hoodfoot. This was our Patreon match. If you want to see it, subscribe at the IPW regular tier now on Patreon. In our main event of the evening, the Bruisers challenged the IPW Tag Team Champions, Real Hype. The Bruisers were a new challenge for Real Hype, and they were a stiff test, but Real Hype has continued to improve match after match. Many believe they are closing in on the home team as the tag team with the greatest legacy in IPW history, as they were able to put down the Bruisers for yet another successful title defense. Just as the event concluded, a commotion was overheard near the entrance of the building. LaDon Sanders and Big Jorge had somehow made their way out of the building, and their fight spilled out into the parking lot. They kept fighting until cameras stopped rolling. For all we know, they're still fighting. That concludes this edition of The Insider. Join us on Saturday, September 16th at Territorial Brewing in Springfield, Michigan, as IPW presents Super Smash!